Doesn't get more beautiful than the canals of London, baby. I'm telling you. I'm here in Islington, just getting some peace and quiet going on here before I head back to the studio. And we're still here. You know, a week ago, I recorded a video right on these canals talking about how it's over. And I was definitely expecting a YouTube deplatforming imminently, and it's 7 days later and we're still here. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that communicates to me. I haven't had any further discussions with our reps at YouTube, and I don't know, that could change literally in the next minute. So I don't expect any warning shots for this to happen, but maybe it means that they're listening. Maybe it means those 100,000 plus signatures on my open letter to governments and regulators and media companies and technology platforms, maybe they recognize that there's people out there that want us to stay. I don't know what it is, but I'm glad we're still here. I think it's important for us to be on as many platforms as possible to continue spreading our message of, you know, mass scale transformation of humanity into a fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. That's our mission. It's easy to get sidetracked with, you know, a David Icke or a Dr. Buttar or a Mikovits, but, you know, we've been here a minute. You know, we've been here a minute. It'll be 10 years next year. So we've been doing this for a while. We've got a really solid mission that's all about the greater good. And that's what we continue to deliver on here. And I appreciate all the support from all of you. And I appreciate the fact we're still on a lot of these platforms, albeit with a reduced and a different type of content. But, you know, if that's the way it has to be, so be it. There's a war that needs to be fought on all fronts, and that's what we're doing. So we are still here for the time being. I hope that continues, and if it doesn't, then we will proceed forward regardless. In the meantime, we're still broadcasting incredible content I'm proud of over the Digital Freedom Platform, and we will continue to run this hybrid model until we see a better strategy. And so I just want to thank you all. I think your voice really makes a difference. I think the signatures and the fundraising and the support really makes a difference and shows these platforms that maybe they need to think twice before just completely censoring or banning people. And I think it means something. Also, we've seen a few people leave platforms recently. Specifically, I mean, Joe Rogan going to Spotify, and you know, maybe that was because he was getting some flack for his live streams and content strikes, and you know, maybe he wasn't able to talk about some of the things that we talk about. And you know, now he's going to Spotify, where I think he probably will be able to talk about whatever he wants. So, you know, if other companies step up and revise their community policies and some of their behaviors regarding censorship, maybe others will follow. And again, if we vote with our dollars and with our eyeballs and our personal information and our money, when it comes to a premium platform like Spotify, they will notice. You know, we have so much power. We just don't realize it sometimes, especially when we act collectively. And so that's a real sign. It's a real positive sign. Just want to congratulate Joe for that amazing deal. And again, I think it really helps us. It helps any content creator get a message out there that is ultimately free to speak about, free to express ourselves. And I think that's so fundamentally necessary. I think it's the building block of every great advance we've made in human civilization for the past 2,000 years has been that concept of free speech, whether it was Copernicus and the bodies in the celestial heavens, or it was Madame Curie, or it was all these other, you know, scientists that put these things out there, or Martin Luther King, or, you know, Stonewall in New York City. These were people that were putting out ideas that were against the mainstream. If there was a digital platform at the time, they would have banned them, said it was not community policy, it was not what the government mandated, and these movements would have happened, but they did happen because of freedom of speech. So I'm a massive proponent. It seems to me to be the one thing that's necessary for advancement. There's a reason it's the First Amendment in the United States and not the 7th or the 17th Amendment. And so we're going to keep putting out this information. There's been some sources that have you know, slandered me and our platforms and effectively you, the London Real Army, and saying that we spread disinformation and misinformation. There's a clever article done by Vice, which effectively is the BBC now, in my opinion. They're basically mainstream media. They used to be, you know, punk journalists, a bit like us, and now they're not. And so they've decided to say we spread misinformation, disinformation. I disagree. I've got 4 medical doctors. I had 160 medical doctors on a live stream call last night that pretty much unanimously agreed with what's been said recently by some of the people on my platform. That's scientific studies. That's opinions of professionals. That's not disinformation and misinformation. So again, we are in a massive information war. As long as we know that, we can fight it. But when you're sitting home and thinking you're at peace, don't fool yourself. This is an information war. We are all part of it. Your brain is the tool. The weapons are the various videos or lack of information. Sometimes it's the lack of information that they use to fight. That's what's happening lately. We're not allowed to broadcast messages about X, Y, and Z topics. And so just understand you're in a war. Understand there's lots of players involved, from foreign countries to governments to pharma companies to charitable foundations. All of those are battling because your eyeballs and your thoughts can be monetized, controlled, and used for power. So that's what's going on here. Now I understand the information more and I can play it a little bit more intelligently, but honestly, I'm a novice and I just like to put out some messages and have some real conversations. So that's what we're gonna keep doing. We are still here. I appreciate your support and I hope I can make this video again next week and tell you the same message. And if not, we will move forward regardless with new solutions and new ideas that will probably make us ultimately better as well. So that's my message to you. And as always, we will not be silenced, and we will not be censored, and we will not be stopped. And that's my promise to you. Peace.